concerns din na parang bakit kailangan military approach in dealing with the COVID-19 crisis? Kasi po, di ba po kayo mga miyembro ng NTF or mostly generals or retired generals po, Secretary?
Ang ano po natin kasi, may ano po tayo kasi kailangan po talaga natin po ang logistics kasi ito yung po ang medyo naging problema po natin. Nagkakaroon po ng malaking problema ang logistics function natin. Kung titignan nyo lahat ng mga problema, kulang ang PPE, kulang ang ventilator, kulang ang respirator. Yun po mga yun ay mga logistics function. Secondly, yung expansion ng capacity ng mga hospitals ay trabaho din po ng logistics. In fact, ngayon si Secretary Villar at saka si PCDA, PCDA Chairman, ay nag-ocular inspection na po sa mga possible na magiging quarantine area like PICC, World Trade Center, yung Ultra, yung Arena, at saka halos lahat ng mga gymnasium na malalaki na pwede natin i-house yung mga mild COVID patients at saka yung ating mga PUIs at saka PUNs because ang balak po namin pagka nagkaroon na po tayo ng mass testing ay i-confine na po natin yung mga PUI at saka PUNs sa mga quarantine areas.
Secretary, last na lang po based on your assessment na posible po bang ma-extend kaya yung classroom clinic quarantine hanggang April 14? Ma-extend po kaya yan?
May possibility po, pero ang ano po natin, we can assure the public that we are in full control of this. Alam natin, maintindihan po natin na yung itong pandemic crisis po nito, even US, at saka yung natin, Italy, Europe, South Korea, and even Japan, they were caught unprepared kasi biglaan po. Alam natin na China, one of the richest country, talagang pinadapa po ng virus na to dahil kasi it was unexpected. That's why with the limited resources that we have, we are banking on the spirit of our frontliners. Kaya nga ang pinaka-main objective namin is we have to protect, preserve, and motivate our frontliners, yung mga doctors po natin. And we would like to convey our condolences sa mga frontliners po natin na namatay. Bayanin po talaga po sila. And we have to protect them and also to support them.
Maraming salamat kay Secretary Ferdinand Galvez Jr. ng National Task Force on COVID-19. Samantalang higpitan ng Presidential Security Group o PSG ang screening measures sa Malacanang. Bago makabisita sa palasyo o makalapit sa Pangulo, dapat munang sagutan ang ilang forms. Kailangang ideklara kung may travel history at kung sumailalim na sa COVID-19 test. Ang paghihigpit ay kasunod ng pagdalo ni CIS Party List Representative Eric Yap sa pulong sa palasyo noong Sabado. Kalaunin ng pag-alamang positibo sa COVID-19 ang kongresista. Posibleng sampahan ng reklamo ng PSG si Yap dahil sa pagpunta niya sa palasyo kahit na siya isang person under investigation. Hindi lahat ng bayani may kapa, pero sa sitwasyon na yon, napapaliputan na tayo nila. Sila ang mga nakasuot ng scrubs at lab gowns. Ang iba naman, naka-uniforme. Tuloy-tuloy sa kanilang pagsiservisyo, habang ang karamihan sa atin nananatili sa ating mga bahay. Sinusuong nila ang panganib para maprotektahan, maalagaan, mapagaling at masagip ang ating mga buhay. Salamat sa ating mga frontliner, ang mga doktor, nurse, at iba pang medical staff. Ang mga security guard, mga tao sa supermarket at drugstores, gayon din ang mga pulis at sundalo. Babawi kami sa inyo. Maraming salamat. Susunod, COVID-19 cases sa Amerika, biglang lobo at gayoy mas marami na kesa sa China. Ang detalye sa pagbabalik ng bantaan sa CNN Philippines.
You need to stay home.
Nagbabalik ang balitaan sa CNN Philippines ang breaking news sa mga oras na ito na positibo sa COVID-19 si AFP Chief of Staff Filimon Santos. Kinumpirma niyan ng Defense Secretary Delphine Lorenzana. At dahil nakasalubunga ng kalihim ang general, kailangan din sumailalim ni Lorenzana sa 14-day quarantine. Matatanda ang sumailalim si Santos sa quarantine dahil nakasalubungan naman niya ang isa pang opisyal na may infeksyon. Amerika na ang bagong epicenter ng coronavirus outbreak. Nalapasan ito ang China sa dami ng mga kumpirmadong kaso. Halos 83,000 na ang nahawa ng virus sa US at mahigit 1,100 ang namatay. Samantala, pinakamataas din ngayon ang bilang ng mga US citizen na walang trabaho o posibleng mawala ng trabaho. May 3,000,000 full-time employees ang nag-apply para sa unemployment benefits noong isang linggo. Sa ilalim ng US Unemployment Program, binibigyan ng cash benefits ang mga eligible worker. Base sa datos ng ating Foreign Affairs Department, halos 5 milyong Pilipino ang naninirahan sa Amerika. Sa kabuuan, mahigit 250,000 na ang COVID-19 cases sa buong mundo. Mahigit 23,000 ang namatay at mahigit 100,000 naman ang bumalik. Kapit-bisig naman ang mga kapangyarihang bansa na miyembro ng tinatawag na G20 sa laban kontra COVID-19. Sa isang video conference, nagkasundo ang mga lider ng bansa na maglaan ng mahigit $5 trillion o mahigit 257 trillion pesos para sa COVID-19 response. Sa ilalim ng enhanced community quarantine, nagbibigay ng window hours ang ilang lokal na pamahalaan sa paglabas ng bahay. Pero sabi ni Interior Secretary Eduardo Año, bawal yan dahil lalo nang daw magpupungkulan ang mga tao kapag limitado ang oras na pwede silang lumabas. Dapat daw alisin ang mga lokal na pamahalaan ang window hours at payagang lumabas ang mga tao sa loob ng 12 oras. Dapat din daw iwasan ang mga barangay na magkumpulan ang mga tao sa pagkuha ng quarantine tax. Katuwang din ng Health Department ang Philippine Red Cross laban sa coronavirus. Kaugnay na kausapin natin si Philippine Red Cross Chairman Senator Richard Gordon. Magandang tanghali po, Senator.
Hello, yes, Ruth, good afternoon. Hello.
Senator, pakikwento lang po kami ano kung ginagawa nyo bilang paglaban ng COVID-19, especially at isa na kayong key humanitarian partner ng ating gobyerno.
Dati na kami humanitarian partner ng gobyerno, pero ang sinagawa namin ngayon ay unang-una meron tayong call center na matatawagan ng tao 1158 para malalaman nila kung ano ang mga agam-agam nila at may sasagot sa inyo palagi doon. At kung kailangan ng ambulansya o kailangan ng talagang panahon na yun, i-clear natin sa DOH para mapadala kayo ng ambulansya either ng Red Cross, DOH o ng local government. Meron rin tayong mga tents ngayon na binibigay para sa surge capacity. Nagdadagdag tayo ng mga tents sa PGH, air condition yung mga tents sa NKTI, dalawang tent na doon, at maglalagay pa tayo sa QI. Nalilinis na ngayon yung mga QI, yung dating Quezon Institute ng Tuberculosis, gagamitin na rin yung hospital yan for those who are not suffering seriously, pero may mild symptoms na sila. No? So, ako, ang suggestion ko, dapat magbukas na tayo ng mga gymnasium kung lalala ito. Hopefully, hindi na lalala ito. Pero kung lalala ito, kailangan siguro i-mobilize na rin natin yung mga retired doctors, yung mga nag-graduate lang na hindi pa nakakatapos ng board. Pagbantay doon, at dapat may communication center na gagawin doon. Isa yan. No? Pangalawa, sa Red Cross naman, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung pagtulong natin sa pagbibigay ng mga PPEs, yung protective gear. At sa darating na rin go, hopefully, set up na natin yung ating laboratory kung saan isang makina makakapag-test ng 1,500 a day. So, dalawang makina yun, 3,000 ang matetest. Bibilis ngayon ang ating testing at malalaman natin kung sino iihiwalay natin. Pagka nalaman natin na siya ay may positive, pwede na natin siyang ihiwalay doon sa madla o sabihin sa kanya kung ano gagawin niya kung siya ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, yan ang ilan sa mga ginagawa natin, no? May mga suggestions na kami ngayon na dahil nagkakamahalan ng PPEs at ang hirap kumuha, dapat siguro gawin natin, meron silang mga adult diapers, no? Kasi ang problema sa PPEs, pag nandun ka na sa ICU, pag lumabas ka, pagpasok, papalit ka ulit. Kaya kumisan, hanggang 12 beses nagpapalit, kulang na kulang nga eh. Kaya within an 8-hour period, dapat medyo talaga may sakripisyo ng konti para hindi masyadong lalabas at makakatipid tayo dahil wala tayo supply ngayon.
So yan ang hinahanap natin mga supply, PPEs, yung masks at saka lahat ng mga pwede natin makuha ay talagang pinapasa natin sa mga hospital na wala niyan. Go ahead.
Ito maganda yung suggestion niyo sa adult diapers kasi may na-interview din ako ng nurse na problema din nila yan eh. Hindi sila makalabas dahil sa diretso yung shift nila wearing their protective gear. Pero ang gusto ko kong balikan, Senator, yung inyong testing laboratory kasi alam naman po natin ngayon na medyo matagal yung proseso for accreditation of these testing centers and even yung testing kit niya dyan sa UP. So at which stage na po kayo ngayon? Nagpapa-accredit na po ba kayo?
Oo, tapos sa laboratorio, hinintay ko na lang dumating yung Hindi ko na lang dumating yung makina from China. Madalawa yan, no? Kausap ko na sa Secretary Duque nung isang buwan pa halos at ang RITM, kausap ko lang kahapon at iba mga tauhan nila, nag-usap na kami ni Secretary Duque sa role ng RITM at pati na si Eric Domingo ng FDA. So pagdating yan, nagawa na kami ng assessment test, pinabit na namin kagabi. Pagdating ng mga makina on Sunday, kakasa na yan. At meron pa ang tinatawag na negative pressure yung clinic, yung mobile laboratory. At pag nangyari na at pinayagan na ng RITM, pwede na mag-test sa barrio, dadali ngayon yan. At mabilis, in 3 hours you can get the results. No? At kung di naman, pwede rin pumunta doon sa laboratory, kukuha lang ng passes sa DILG o sa mga checkpoint para sa ganon. Makapunta sila within the 2-hour period. Meron kami malaking gymnasium sa likod na pwede silang pumasok doon 100 at a time, properly spaced, hindi sila maghahawa-hawa at test sila ng mga siguro 6 na kukuha ng kanilang mga specimen. At pagtapos sa kabilang building na itatakbo na sa laboratorio.
Maganda po yan, Senator. Kunin niyo lang po, iba lang tayo ng konti. Ito pong issue tungkol sa kasabahan mo po sa Senator Coco Pimentel. Sa tingin niyo po ba ay kailangang imbestigahan yan ng Senado? Ang sabi ni Ethics Commission Chair Senator Manny Pacquiao kagabi ay pwede po daw yan maimbestigahan kung may nag-file ng complaint.
Well, lahat pwede investigate, but this is the proper time to do it. Siyempre, si Coco, unang baby niya yan, no? Cesarean pa. He was guilty of bad judgment. Siguro ayaw naman niya makahawa. I would give him the benefit of the doubt in terms of mabuting tao yan. Pero I would find him lacking in good judgment. Pero sa akin, we have better things to talk about now. Pag-usapan natin yung mga suggestion natin para hindi magamit, hindi lumaganap ito. Dahil kailangan talunin natin ito eh. Ang pagtalo niyan, dapat marunong mag-ingat ang tao. Naguhugas sila ng kamay. Dapat yan ang tinuturo natin. Palagi nag-alcohol. Pagtalo niyan, dapat tinetesting natin kung sino yun, saan nagtatago yung virus. Pag nalaman na natin yan, mababawasan ang carrier. So, matatalo na natin yan. Pangatlo, dapat yung mga tao natin, alagaan natin, yung mga nagugutom, hindi makukuha ng pera, gumawa na ng batas ng gobyerno. Dapat mabigyan na sila sa lalong madaling panahon ng ayuda at kailangan i-identify yan para hindi naman masayang yung pera na lahat makikisaw-saw. Yun lang talagang dapat nakakailangan.
Maraming po salamat, Senator Gordon. Babala naman ng isang eksperto, posibleng mauwi sa anxiety o depression ang mga pagbabago sa takbo ng buhay na tulad ng COVID-19 crisis. Paano ba magbabalita? Carlin Bonkin.
Delaria na balansin ng trabaho at personal na buhay sa mga nakalipas na araw. Pinag-work from home sila ng kumpanya 1 linggo bago ipatupad ang enhanced community quarantine sa Luzon.
May una, okay ako because I can work at the same time live with my kids. Pero nung tumatagal siya, actually, nag-trigger siya ng anxiety ko.
Tulad ni Ina, milyon-milyong Pilipino ang walang magawa kundi pumirmi sa bahay. Isang realidad malayo sa nakagawian. Ang tanong ng marami, kailan ba ito matatapos? Pero alam ni Ina, ito ang pinakamabuting magagawa niya ngayon para mapigilan ang pagkalat ng COVID-19.
Nakaka-worry siya actually. Like every day, when we wake up na may additional case or hindi natin alam kung ano na naman yung restrictions.
Lumalabas lang si Ina kapag mag-grocery at di niya maiwasang mag-alala tuwing lumalabas.
When we go out, isipin pa na baka sino ba nakasalubong or nakasama ko na, alam mo yun, hindi natin alam kung positive sa COVID or something.
Sabi ng isang psychologist, pwedeng mauwi sa mga disorder tulad ng anxiety o pagkabalisa at depresyon ang ganitong sitwasyon. Biglaan kasing nagbago ang kinasanayan, lalo na ang mga taong hindi sanay na nasa bahay lang. Ano nga ba ang dapat gawin para mapanatili ang good mental health?
You can do anything na talagang what pleases you. Dapat talaga meron kang sabihin na natin yung contingency plan mo na ano ba ang pwedeng gawin sa loob ng bahay.
Pwedeng maghanap ng bagong libangan, gawin ang mga bagay na matagal mo nang gustong gawin, tulad ng pagbabasa ng mga libro, panonood ng mga pelikula at pakikinig ng musika. Pwede rin mag-meditate, magdasal, o hindi kaya mag-enjoy kasama ang pamilya. Mahalaga rin na umiwas sa fake news at maling impormasyon. Kumain din ng prutas at iba pang pagkain nakakapagpasaya.
Buksan yung mga bintana nyo. Kasi yung day 3 na nakukuha sa sunlight, malaking bagay para to alleviate symptoms of depression.
Para kay Ina, ito ay paggawa ng iba't ibang bagay kada araw, tulad ng paggawa ng mga artwork mula sa patapong bagay at pag-review ng mga aralin.
It keeps them sane para, kasi nga hindi kami nakakalabas. Yung next activity, magtatanim na kami ng seeds ng mga gulay.
Kanya-kanyang diskarte ang marami sa atin. May mga napapasayaw na lang para labanan ang pagkabagot at stress hanggang bumalik sa normal ang lahat.
Ikaw yung maganda. Lahat, ikaw na.
Caroline Bodkins, CNN Philippines.
At yan ang kabuuan ng balitaan ngayong Biyernes, March 27, 2020. Sa ngayon ni Vicky Webb, ako po si Kaban. At bago kami magpaalam, mag-alay tayo ng sandaling katahimikan para sa mga doktor na nagpuwis ng buhay para sa ating lahat. COVID-19 testing center, but the government fails to get the go signal from the DOH. Marikina City Mayor Marcy Chodoro joins us in the program. To find out how the COVID-19 pandemic is changing the Metro Manila landscape, something we really haven't seen before.
Okay, so we just got
Health Secretary Francisco Duque is saying Senator Coco Pimentel broke quarantine protocols when he accompanied his wife, Katrina, at Makati Medical Center on Tuesday night. He said he found out he tested positive while at the hospital. He was tested 4 days prior. Duque also explained in a press briefing yesterday he did not pressure Makati Medical Center to admit the senator's wife, who was scheduled to have a baby via C-section. Duque denies calling the hospital to give the Pimentels special treatment.
Inuulit ko po, ako po ay nananawagan sa lahat. Kritikal po na lahat tayo, lalo na ang mga PUIs at mga PUNs, ay manatili sa ating mga tahanan upang matagumpay ang ating enhanced community quarantine at mapababa po natin ang bilang ng kaso ng COVID-19 positive.
Let's go straight to the source of the story. Health Department spokesperson Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere. Good morning, Yusek, and thank you for taking our call. I'd like to start with what Secretary Duque is saying, that the DOH agrees that Senator Coco Pimentel breached hospital protocols. Can you tell us more about this?
Yes, good morning, Ruth, and good morning to all our viewers and listeners. The protocol of the department has always been emphasized on our quarantine procedures. And we have all issued out guidelines, and we have, in all of our press and media briefings, we have overly emphasized on this quarantine or self-isolation protocol so that we may cut transmission of the disease. Now, with regard to the issue about a certain official who has violated these procedures that we have, as we always say, the mandate of the department is to issue out the protocols, the guidelines, the regulatory measures. But as to enforcement and the sanctions, it's going to be up to our other members of the interagency task force to implement these kind of procedures.
So you said some sectors, I think the lawyers group was saying that they will probably file charges against Senator Coco Pimentel. So you're saying that's already not within your jurisdiction, and you can give any details about that?
Yes, the specific guidelines that we have implemented or that we have issued would provide the guidelines or the directives on how the procedures for quarantine should be. And of course, we have different mandates across the different agencies of government. And with regard to enforcing these procedures, we have recommendatory powers, but the enforcement per se and of course, the sanctioning would be part of the mandate of other government agencies as well.
You said we had the update yesterday with regards to the number of cases. We have 707 COVID positive cases now in the country, and you repeatedly saying na expected po yung rate of increase kasi nga po nag-increase din tayo in the number of testing. But are we prepared for the surge in the number of cases? Because some doctors are saying, and Dr. Leachon, health advocate, he was saying that this is not the real picture we're seeing right now.
Well, first, no country has this kind of preparation. Nobody can be prepared for this specific situation that all countries are in right now. Second, we are trying to prepare. We cannot say that we are prepared and, we can do everything. We are trying to prepare and we are trying to ready ourselves for that eventuality where surge of cases would happen. The third, as what Dr. Leachon is saying, yes, it might be that this is really not the true picture as of this time because our testing capacity is still not stable. It is still not at par. And we expect really to have higher number of cases in the coming days because we have already extended our laboratory capacity. We have other laboratories now testing, and there are still a lot more, almost more than 15 laboratories across the country have already submitted their intent to test COVID-19, and we are now assessing these laboratories so that if they would be passing our standards, and then they could already be testing laboratory for COVID here in the Philippines. So we expect that the number of cases could still rise owing to the fact that we are now stabilizing the process in our laboratory.
You said, sinasabi po kasi, pabagal, and then you were saying naman, marami nang dumating na test kits. How many tests have been done so far? And yung mga testing kits, ilan na po ang total na hawak natin dito sa bansa?
Ang mga test po so far na nagawa na would be 4,070. These are the tests these are the specimens that were collected. The tests that had been done so far as of yesterday was 2,147. So hindi pa included, not included here with those tests that have not been processed yet. So may mga pending pa rin ho tayo na mga ipoproseso, na mga specimens for that. As to how much testing kits we have right now, we have received last Saturday the 100,000 testing kits. This is good for 1,000 tests, which came from the Chinese embassy. We are set to receive the 50,000 testing kits coming from Jackma Foundation. We have received initially from Mammoth Foundation 2,000 testing kits. We have received 1,000 from South Korea. There is this upcoming Singapore donation. I think it's about 5,000 testing kits. And we are also set to receive additional testing kits from WHO. So these are the list of what has been donated for now. There are still a lot coming, and we will be informing everybody about the inventories of our testing kits from time to time.
Yung isa pong parati rin na pag-usapan yung lack of personal protective equipment for the frontliners. So is the DOH, what is the DOH doing about this?
Yes, I just like people to understand because a lot of people are saying, how come we have a lot of money in government, why don't we buy? First thing would be, there is a global shortage of these personal protective equipment layers all over the world. So it's really a challenge for the department right now to find suppliers, especially coming from abroad, and even here, local suppliers where they cannot match the quantities that are required. So we are now trying to seek the help of our private sector. We have a group where we discuss this kind of needs of the department, and they are very much willing to help. These are private sector groups, pharmaceutical groups, and the like. And now our inventories, we have received donations for these PPEs. Some would just give the mask, some would just give the goggles, and so we have to repack to make it complete. Also, we have received complete PPEs, but very minimal. So we're now trying to rationally allocate and trying to prioritize those facilities, both public and private, which needs them the most. As soon as our supplies will come from our procurement and from donations, we will be providing all those who are in need.
You said yung how many doctors na po ba yung namatay because of COVID-19? Because the Philippine Medical Association is saying 9 doctors, so if you're looking at 9 doctors out of the 45 dead, can you explain bakit po ba talagang sila yung natatamaan itong sakit?
As with the experience in other countries also, Ruth, you'd find that a big proportion of those affected by this disease are the healthcare workers. And that is really understandable because they are the frontliners and they really are the ones taking care of those with COVID positive cases. So they are the ones directly exposed to these patients. Now, how do we prevent that to happen? We should have our personal protective equipment for one. The second would be, of course, we need to be very, very sure that we are implementing our infection prevention and control procedures. Once there is a breach in protocol for this prevention or control procedures for infection, and then there becomes that risk for our healthcare workers to be infected. As to the deaths of our 9 doctors here in the Philippines, some of them died because their patients were not able to disclose to them their full information, thereby giving them that increased risk. That's why they got infected and eventually died.
Yung sa paki-clarify lang to issue about the Marikina lab testing facility naman because si Secretary Duque was saying last night na hindi naman siya totally ni-reject, may kailangan lang ayusin sa in terms of safety and space standards daw Marikina. Pero ang sabi niya, pwede daw gamitin yung among the biggest hospital. But the Marikina government is saying, sabi daw ng DOH, hindi pwede. Ano, pakinggan po yung issue. Ano po ang status nitong Marikina?
Yes, I'd just like to explain this through very, very clearly because it seems like the people are trying to make a very big issue out of this and trying to make the city government of Marikina and DOH as competitors or opponents. We are working together with the city government. We would like to help them as much as we can. When we went there for inspection or for the assessment came out and the results were that the Marikina City government needs to fulfill still a lot of requirements based on standards so that they may be compliant to our biosafety standards. So meaning they still have deficiencies and we cannot allow them still to operate as a biosafety laboratory. People have to understand that this process is very risky. We are carrying a live virus when we do this. The specimens that we collect from our patients are live viruses. When we process this in the laboratory, there is this first step of the process where you inactivate, you extract the virus, and you inactivate the virus. So we like to be assured and we like to ensure that there will be no breaches in protocol when we do these things so that we don't risk the health of our healthcare workers who are handling these specimens and of course the community where they reside because this laboratory is within a community. Once there is a breach in our protocols for biosafety here, this virus can easily spread to the community. So that is what we would like to understand, like people to understand, especially those in Marikina. Now, when we inspected and assessed, there were still deficiencies for compliance, and also they were in a building in a sixth the laboratory would be situated in the sixth floor. And there should be this proper way where it is only the laboratory personnel and those carrying the specimens who would be passing through the elevator, the staircase, going to this laboratory. They are saying that there was this designated way for people, but we still think that it is still not safe. That's why the main recommendation was, let's transfer, they have to transfer to another vacated office maybe or another space other than the existing building that they have. People now are saying, and it is all over the media, that we are asking for them to build another building. We are not saying that. We are just recommending if they can find another office with adequate space and appropriate for this laboratory, and then we will help them set it up there. Now, as to Amang Rodriguez Memorial Medical Center, after the assessment in the Marikina City Health Office, I ordered our team to go to the hospital to check if it can house the RT-PCR machine of Marikina City government. But upon inspection, the existing laboratory of Amang Rodriguez Medical Center was not big enough. It did not have that adequate space for us to house the RT-PCR machine. That's why, in the recommendations, we said the Amang Rodriguez Medical Center cannot at this time house the RT-PCR. Therefore, a recommendation is for Marikina City government to find another space for that.
Okay. Thank you very much to Yusuf Rehera for taking our call. And coming up here on the source, the health department rejects Marikina City's COVID-19 testing center, and we'll explain that after a short break.
Naman ako ni kwarto ron. Ay,
Welcome back. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. The health
Go back.
department
Go
won't
back.
accredit Marikina City's proposed COVID-19 testing center for now. Secretary Francisco Duque explains that the base and biosafety standards, he said, it should be set up in a different location. To explain, the setup should minimize cross-infection and put and patients. And earlier, we were also talking with Yusek Bagere, and she was saying that they are willing to work with the Marikina city government to be able to set up a laboratory that's big enough and that's safe enough for the testing of COVID-19. Isa po sa pinapaliwanag ni Yusek Borgeri.
Tres, dali diri na ay si Kuan Diaz gawas.
Sa kanilang city hall ilalagay. Itong city hall building ilalagay sa 6th floor yung testing laboratory.
Dali diri.
That's not safe kasi for example now, yung elevator doon, sasakay daw doon.
Dali na na maligo ko makita na dag ko kaining lamo. Kasi di abre.
Mamano ito doon sa ibang tao na gumagamit ng building. And she's also clarifying kasi kumabot ng pinag-believe ni Secretary Tupi pwede doon sa Amang Rodriguez Memorial Center. She's also clarifying na for now, hindi po pwede na because when they inspect the hospital, ang sinasabi nila ay hindi daw ganun kalaki yung hospital para ilagay siya yung iba pang equipment na kailangan for testing laboratory. I think we have on the line, Marikina Mayor Marcy Chodoro. Okay. We're still trying to call him, but in the meantime, Metro Manila's air pollution levels are dropping since Luzon was placed under enhanced community quarantine. Our senior correspondent, David Santos, tells us how the coronavirus pandemic is changing the air quality and the face of Metro Manila.
This is now how it looks like in the country's financial districts, from Ortigas to Makati. Streets, sidewalks, overpasses, all empty as businesses shut down. Entertainment centers, parks, and tourist destinations also closed. Cubao in Quezon City as well as Divisoria in Manila, both perennially choking with vehicles now traffic-free. These are some of the images of Metro Manila under stress, with its more than 10 million residents told to stay home. For devout Catholics, Wednesday is Baclaran Day, but as you can see now, Baclaran Church is virtually deserted. With this metro-wide lockdown going on for more than a week now, the faithful are just encouraged to pray inside their homes. Outside Baclaran, the street vendors still hoping to sell her wares even without church-goers.
Asya lang pagkain-kain niya.
Paano kung walang benta?
Wala, mangutang muna.
Metro Manila's face drastically changing due to the coronavirus disease, at least for the meantime. With daily life grinding to a halt across Metro Manila, the pandemic is possibly having some positive impact on the environment. The Environment Department says air quality has significantly improved, with streets emptied of vehicles, factories closed down, and planes grounded. Air pollution has gone down, similar to China and Italy, when these countries also went on lockdowns. Satellite images showed a notable decline in nitrogen dioxide emissions, resulting in cleaner air. Back in Manila, some things, however, never change. Take the case of homeless people still out on the streets, waiting for help amid the pandemic.
Kawawa nga kami. Iba na, wala kami pinag-aralan. Marami na mga lakad. Tapos ang junk shop nagsara.
There are concerns the clean air now could just be a mere respite, literally a breather. Once the health crisis ends and the situation goes back to normal, so do our problems with our environment. David Santos, CNN Philippines.
Filipinos from all walks of life are showing us that there is hope amid the uncertain times. These volunteers in the fashion industry are helping address the shortage of personal protective equipment for doctors and nurses. Using donated fabrics and materials, they're sewing protective gear for our frontliners. Beauty doctor Vicky Bello and her team are also doing fundraising efforts. They've already donated PPEs to at least 7 hospitals. A group of photographers are selling their photos on Facebook for the benefit of our health workers. At least 3 hospitals in Quezon City and Manila have already received food and medical supplies from them. Thank you for joining us here on the Source. I'm Gaba. You're watching CNN Philippines.
Nurses and doctors wearing garbage bags is shameful and it is shocking.
The need for gear, including ventilators, is unrelenting as the number of patients soars. At Elmhurst Hospital in Queens, 13 people dying in just one day.
All the team that you see, they all have COVID.
Dr. Colleen Smith documented 72 hours inside Elmhurst for the New York Times.
Leaders in various offices, from the president to the head of health and hospitals, saying things like, we're going to be fine. Everything's fine. And from our perspective, everything is not fine. I don't have the support that I need, and even just the materials that I need physically to take care of my patients. And it's America. And we're supposed to be a first world country.
CNN has reached out to Elmhurst Hospital about Dr. Smith's statement. Meantime, the line outside that ER today continues to grow. Further south at New York City's Bellevue Hospital, a makeshift morgue is being set up for a possible surge. NYU is allowing senior medical students to graduate early to help meet the demand for healthcare workers.
Everybody's doing things they've never, even in their wildest dreams, thought that they would be doing. It is a disaster that nobody could have anticipated.
Across the country, leaders are watching, urging people to stay home, knowing they need next.
For what we see in Italy, for what we see in Spain, for what we see in New York City, it's coming here. Nobody is immune from this virus.
Just over 2 weeks ago, we had 0. This crisis is ramping up exponentially. Michigan is currently ranked 5th in the nation with confirmed cases of COVID-19.
In Louisiana, where hospitals also face an urgent need for ventilators and hospital beds, a new focus on how the surge of Mardi Gras visitors in New Orleans may have helped the virus spread.
We had over 1.5 million people in the city, including international visitors, all attending parades daily.
On the heels of America's deadliest day for this virus, doctors are facing increasingly difficult questions about who is treated.
We want to do our best to save every life that comes through our doors. But during a pandemic, when resources become scarce, sometimes we have to engage in uncomfortable conversations.
We saw some of this during Katrina. This is an awful position to put first responders in. It is just really unacceptable.
The nation's voice of calm in this swirling storm, reminding the country this is uncharted territory.
And you've got to understand that you don't make the timeline. The virus makes the timeline.